everyone, this is Plot Twist Please. I'm Shemaya. It's like papaya except it's not. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe if you like this video. If not, I'm sorry. FYI, I identify as someone who's autistic, and I'm going to talk about today signs of autistic burnout or autistic fatigue. If you're not aware, autism is a disorder that has sensory, emotional, mental, and interpersonal elements. So here's the thing, burnout or general fatigue can happen to anybody, but specifically with autistic burnout, it happens as a result of us experiencing sensory overload, of us having to mask for a long time. Another vocab word for you, if you don't know what masking is a term that specifically for the autistic community means having to put on a front or having to put on the face of appearing to be socially equipped or normal, but really you're working extremely hard to catch on to social cues and to respond in ways that make other people feel comfortable. And that takes energy. It takes so much mental energy. For me, what will usually happen is during the day, if I've talked to a lot of people or I've been around other people in a lot of social situations, that then I will immediately feel this weight or this wave of fatigue, and I'll have to kind of sit on my couch for an hour or stare at the ceiling or just listen to music because I really have exhausted my brain at that point. And that happens to a lot of us. Now, autistic fatigue or burnout can happen for several hours or it can happen for several weeks and months. I'm specifically going to refer to the autistic burnout that occurs over the course of several months or weeks for an extended period of time, basically. So various ways that autistic burnout affects us is in increased meltdowns, in physical pain and headaches, or in physically shutting down and sometimes the loss of speech or the loss of the ability to be able to process auditory information, or it just becomes extremely difficult. It can also happen through feeling like we're not meeting society's expectations of us, which is really tricky because society's expectations are already going to be expectations that we can't meet because we don't really fit into the structure that society has set out for individuals, because we're not like the individuals who created it. What can you do when you're experiencing autistic burnout? For me, as an autistic adult, I have a really busy life. So I'm an actor, I'm a content creator, I'm a wellness advocate. I also am a teacher, so I work with preschoolers to kindergartners during the day, which requires so much brain activity and attentiveness and emotional readiness. And so recovery after a day of work is so important for me. Also for people if they work in a corporate environment or if they work on a computer all day and have to send emails or interact with people for several hours, it can be a lot for us. And so it's really important that we take a step back and take care of ourselves, whether through mindfulness or through literally doing nothing. So I'm going to give you a few tips on how to manage your autistic burnout and things you can do to help remedy it. So something that people use to manage this if they do find themselves having autistic burnout is energy accounting. Now, energy accounting is used to set limits on your energy levels throughout the day so that you don't overdo it. So you can make a chart of the different activities you have going on in the day or the different marks you need to hit, and you can decide how much energy you're going to spend on those tasks. So if you have a scale of 1 to 10, 10 is the most energy that you'll spend on any given task. And you can kind of plan where you want to spend that energy or what things you're going to cap in order to be able to spend all that energy on that one thing you have to do that day. And a lot of that is in correlation with knowing yourself, knowing what your limits are. So you just really have to be cognizant of that. I think it starts there. I think you have to know what your limits are, know how much energy you have at the beginning of the day versus the end of the day versus the middle of the day. Because I'm someone who will have a ton of energy at the very beginning. In the middle of the day though, I really lag and I just, my energy is gone, but my energy picks up again at around 8 p.m. I don't know, but it's so important for you to know yourself and to know how much energy you need at given points of the day and how much energy you typically have. It's also super important that you, too, allocate time to doing things where you don't have to mask at all. It's been great for me having specific hours of the day where I'm like, I'm not going to talk to anyone. This is my me time. This is the time where I'm gathering myself, where I'm recovering, or where I'm preparing for the next thing. And I can't talk to people right now. I need my space. That's so important. Also, number 3, sometimes it's about reducing your expectations for yourself. Like, yes, have goals. Yes, aim toward those goals and work hard. But know that you don't have to be so hard on yourself, and that we're all just doing our best, especially now when we got Miss Pandemic clutching our necks. We are all going through a time right now, and I think it's worth it to be mindful of that and to cut yourself some slack. Sometimes you really have to understand that you are going to have different limits than the average person if you're an autistic person, if you're a neurodivergent person, if you're a disabled person, or if you're just a person who has different needs than the average person. You have your own needs. You have your own stuff that is not anyone else's stuff. And your self-care is not going to necessarily look like someone else's. And how you manage burnout is not going to be the same necessarily as how someone else does. Autistic burnout specifically, yes, reduce your expectations. You're not going to be like everybody else. You're not going to need recovery in the same way as everybody else, or self-care in the same way. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just do what you need to do to take care of yourself. Because once you actually get to a point where you physically, emotionally, mentally cannot, it's because you haven't been taking those daily steps in investing in your self-care, in taking a break at a specific point in the day. Your body is trying to tell you, hey, stop. Like, your body is trying to tell you something. And I think we should all just do a better job at listening. That's all I have for today. This is Plot Twist Please, in case you forgot. Have a great rest of your afternoon. Be safe, be well, and stay weird, y'all. Bye. Mwah.